If you want to go out there, you can swim. You ain't got to take the raft. You know, you was so hell-bent on swimming earlier.
Or backstroke. Do what you need to do, you know.
She was hell-bent on swimming earlier when they thought this was like a vacay. You can swim your little butt on.
Big fact.
So my biggest threat is people.
Huh?
Yo, let me explain.
You gotta get to explain it like real quick. What do you mean, people?
Who they're becoming because of their.
I mean, there are no animals except the cannibal.
Let me tell you.
What up, vibers? You know what time it is. It's time for another video. And I'm Yak.
I'm Ivy, and welcome to another episode of Showroom.
And on today's episode, we're going to be discussing another episode of The Island.
We're going to take a look at this. So it's basically about some strangers get trapped on an island and they ain't got no memory or nothing.
But before we get started, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and turn on that post notification bell so y'all don't miss an upload. But before we get started, grab your drinks, grab your snacks, and relax your body.
Clear your mind.
Open your soul, forget everything you got going on at home, at work.
Oh, that.
And come vibe with us. Welcome to our room. All right, y'all. Hopefully y'all got y'all snacks, y'all drinks, and y'all ready to get into this. So let's get into a couple thoughts about this episode.
Yo, this was wild.
It was a doozy. And I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
I liked it, but I didn't like it. And we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that.
I already know. I ain't even going to spoil it. I already know. Go ahead.
All right, y'all. Let's get into the first thought, which was, what was our favorite moment? So, my favorite moment was Chase and Cooper. Chase and Cooper? They got something going on.
That was your favorite moment?
It was my favorite moment because everybody on the island seemed, like you said, going for themselves, far apart. Like, it's from so far, their backgrounds are not meshing. So to see one that actually meshed, I'm like, y'all knew each other, you know what I'm saying?
So you trying to tell me, oh, sweetheart and Chase.
Oh, yeah. You keep saying, oh, sweetheart, but he in there for a reason. So, yeah.
You right.
Cooper and Chase, they a thing. And the picture, they was close. So, I'm like, they a thing. So, I like that. It was like a little softness to the episode that it desperately needed.
Well, y'all, mine, it took me all the way to the end to get to the favorite moment. I promise you. I was struggling hard because
yeah, me too.
I didn't see too much like that was just I could call my favorite moment.
There was a small light at the end of the tunnel with Chase and Cooper.
I think my favorite moment was when he said there isn't any chicken on this island.
There is one thing you should know.
There aren't any chickens on this island.
Oh, yeah. Yo. Because Taylor.
But I have questions. I'm asking y'all. Do y'all have questions? How you not know your finger's been bit off?
Probably, look, I'm not finna get all scientific and stuff.
No, go ahead.
But, they always have a question, like, when amputees, like, when they lose their legs, like, can you still, like, how does it feel? Like, do you still feel something there? And there's a phenomenon called, like, a phantom limb.
Oh.
Where you psychologically still feel it.
Teach me something new.
You psychologically still feel it there. So maybe during the conditions, that she was going through and stuff, maybe she really just didn't notice.
That.
Especially because she didn't see it happen. So psychologically, she probably think, oh, she saw something was wrong with her hand, but she was kind of like, oh, I don't know. And then it's Taylor.
Yeah. But your explanation is the best explanation ever. I ain't even gonna lie to you because I was sitting there like, director, what are you doing? Straight up. I'm like, oh, she gonna just all of a sudden look at her hand and start screaming? Like, really? But I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my favorite thought. I guess it was
Of
a dark
course.
thought as always,
Of
but
course.
it was like, we're gonna talk about it later. We're gonna talk about it later because there's a reason why she's even on there. So
Taylor,
go ahead.
Taylor, girl, you was working my nerves. She wanted to go out there in a little raft on her own. And I'm just like, if that's what you want to do, go. Old girl was trying to stop her. Look, I would have asked her that first time. You know, you
She
good.
took the raft, man. What did we get? Build the old air propeller system and
Yeah, that's
use
what I'm
that
like.
mug to get up on out of here.
That's
I
the
would have
only
been
thing
that
I would
same
have.
way.
Yeah, that's the only thing I would have been mad about. Like, you ain't got to take the raft. If you want to go out there, you
Right,
can
you
swim. You ain't got to take the raft. You know, you was so hell bent on swimming earlier.
Or backstroke. Do what you need to do, you know.
She was hell bent on swimming earlier when they thought this was like a vacay. You can swim your little butt on.
Big facts. So that brings us to our second thought, which is who or what was the biggest threat. And mine, old Bonnie and Clyde. Come here.
Yo,
Come here.
I'm tired of hearing about Bonnie and Clyde.
But yo, what about what old Sweetheart? I'm gonna call him Sweetheart until he proved me otherwise. Heard.
And that's what we're doing. We're doing a little work for the big guy on the side. Those boys on the monitor are making what, minimum wage? You think they're really gonna notice if we go off script a bit? Our cover is rock solid.
They going rogue.
Yeah, they are.
Like they coming off the script.
That's dangerous.
For who?
Everybody.
True. So they show enough a threat.
They are a threat.
So yeah, that's my biggest threat because I'm like, y'all was put in here and then y'all decide to go rogue.
Exactly. They know all the blind spots. They know everything. You know.
That's trouble.
Yeah.
So what's yours?
I smell a body. So my biggest threat is people. Yo, let me explain.
You gotta get to explain it like real quick. What do you mean, people?
Who they're becoming because of their past.
I mean, there are no animals except the cannibal.
Let me tell you, because of their past experiences.
Okay.
And we seen that switch with Mason.
I already
Soon
told
as
you
he figured out,
he was different.
Yes.
I could tell.
Soon as he figured out what he did, his whole face changed. So I feel like their past experiences, them figuring out who they really are, is a threat.
But how was that people?
People.
Explain.
That's people.
Man.
Their past experiences. People's past experiences. Those people on the island, their past experiences.
So you mean like just everybody a threat then?
Yeah, all their past experiences is coming back to them. So now that they know what they did, that's a threat.
So their memories is the biggest threat.
Exactly.
That's facts.
All right, y'all. So this leads into our next thought. Who made the biggest mistake?
Well, you ain't like the episode, so
Bitch.
I'm guessing this is when you get
Casey,
vocal.
Bitch. If you don't bring your ass here, yo. I knew this lady, something was off with her. She was sadistic. But seriously? And I felt like, yo, this show was getting good, and then they had to bring the children. You know, I don't like when they bring the children into it. Anything that's like bad to children and stuff like that, I don't like it. Like, they'll stop me from watching something. So when I saw that, I'm like, then I felt like it was her damn episode.
Exactly. Like, what are you just embellishing this shit for?
They want to show us why she did what she did, but I still not. I
don't care.
comprehend. I don't care. Like, what you did was like so messed up, and then she realized what she did. She want to start crying or whatever for 2 seconds.
1.5.
Yeah, 1.5 seconds, and then Moses come in. You know, Captain Save-A-Ho.
Big fact.
Come in. Talk about it don't matter what it does matter what you did. It really does matter what you did.
You should have took her out in the water and then just never mind.
I just would have been like,
You would have went on about your own way?
Yeah, like when she would have told me, oh, I would have been like, oh, it's fine. What happened? Oh, she would have told me, oh, I'm out. I'm not finna take her out because the island pays you
the
back.
Island already
You know
told
what
you
I'm
they're going to pay
saying?
you back. So, yeah, you're right there. See, that go that
But
emotion
you
in me.
deserve to be by yourself, and I'm not finna get too much into it. But I don't like that. Like when scenes like that come up, like I don't want to watch it no more. So I was this close to being
that was some bullshit.
We're gonna have to fast forward through this because that's too much.
That was a lot of fast forwarding too.
That's too much for me. Talking about her whole life story. I mean, and she was in a bad situation. You know what I'm saying? But she didn't have to do what she did.
Bad situation? Like really? Was she in? So she had her little.
She was being physically abused, domestic violence. That she definitely wasn't happy. So I understand all that. She probably was depressed and stuff. Mental health issues. I understand that, but I don't understand what the kids did. To me, it seemed like out of spite.
It was definitely out of spite.
Because when he was like, oh, we're going to get a divorce and you're never going to see your kids, it looked like some click. Oh, you're never going to see your kids either. Period. Forever. You know what I'm saying?
Ugh.
It was just spiteful. But yeah, so it was crazy. So that was my biggest mistake. Basically what she did. That was like.
Well, I told you we was going to have a sit down for mine.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor. Oh, you want to leave the island?
Oh, yeah.
Now you're out here known as Nubs.
Yo. She looking like, ooh, somebody gave me some chicken soup.
I want to know what happened. What happened? You was in a raft. And when you reached the island, you look like you was trying to swim across that river
looked like she
or that water, whatever.
My thing is, what kind of monster do you have to be to cut somebody's fingers off and have them eat their own fingers? Like,
cannibal.
Okay, I would expect him to eat it. Why he feeding it to her? You know what I'm saying? Why you feeding her? Yo.
Hey, I'm sure he got like a full course meal with Taylor Bon Appetit.
Bruh.
All of that.
Yo, that was nasty.
Yeah, it's gonna get worse more than likely.
Yeah.
Before it get better. I would have was the raft destroyed? I think it was destroyed.
I think it was destroyed.
Yeah, so I guess I would have figured out my breaststroke or something.
I just don't get the point of leaving the island because you're in the same worse. You're in a worse predicament than you were when you left the island.
But they told her, they warned her from the beginning. They told her the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Like how you know the rules and then you just you know what?
Don't seem like she followed the rules from
That's
what she did.
self-harm.
From what she did, it don't seem like she followed the rules.
Mm-mm.
Remember, she robbed the bank or whatever, and she said she ain't killed nobody. We didn't see the full gist of her story, which I don't know why Casey got the full attention. We didn't see the full gist of her story. All we seen was that kind of based off what she said. She didn't kill anyone that was her boyfriend. Like, we don't know.
I don't know. I just don't know what was going through her head at all.
Mm-hmm.
But she paid the price.
Right?
How long do you think she's gonna last?
I don't know, because he seemed pretty sadistic.
Like Bonnie and Clyde literally basically said, okay, and deal with the cannibal.
Exactly. So he must be bad.
Gotta be. So that brings us to our last thought, which is final thoughts. So yeah, I'm gonna basically expound on what you were saying. Yeah, that old dirtbag, Casey. Yeah.
I'm so through with her.
She's disgusting.
She needs to leave the island.
No, I'm ready for her to see her expired.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, forget leaving the island.
That's the only way
and
you
I
leave.
want to see it like something gruesome too. Sorry. That's just how I feel.
She needs to go out how she took out her kids.
Yeah, and then if they're gonna do that, they need to how as long as they was telling the backstory.
Mm-hmm.
She need to suffer for about that long.
I don't want to see that whole episode of her doing that. I didn't want to see that whole backstory.
Nah, not at all.
I felt like they could have cut some parts out.
Yeah, it was
she got played though.
Decently too.
He said, Miss Married, I'm going to Chicago.
You can come see me in Chicago. Oh yeah, by the way, I never did give you an address.
Or phone number.
None of that.
Yo, but
So remember, I was like, when he first pressed up on her, he was like, I'm here for my dad's funeral, remember?
Mm-hmm.
But then they was having weeks and and long days and
It's a long
this.
funeral.
Yeah, that was happening for a long time. I'm like, is he ever going back? And
Yeah, he
did.
going back all right. So yeah, my final thoughts is basically everyone's past, is coming back to haunt them. They're finally realizing what they did to get into here, and some of them can't handle it. I feel like Bailey is having a kind of tough time.
Bailey.
What's her name? Is it Bailey?
Which one?
The doctor or the nurse. Blair. Yeah, Blair's having a tough time. Chase is finding out more stuff, with the Cooper situation. So we got a lot of stories brewing. Mason.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we got a lot of stories brewing here, and I'm intrigued to see the rest of them. And so I'm done with Casey's story. I don't want to see that story again. We saw y'all did a whole episode on it. We know what she did. I don't want to see her story again. But yeah, that's my final thoughts.
But I do want to see what's going on, though. I'm ready to see the next episode.
Oh yeah, for sure. Y'all got us.
It's moving on along.
Yeah, I like it. Except for Casey. But all right, y'all, that's all we have for this episode. Leave down below in the comments what y'all thought about this episode.
Yo, is we OD? Is we like, did y'all want to see that?
We definitely not OD. I know we're not OD. Like, who wants to see that? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's nice to know what she did, but they just kind of went left. But, yeah, leave the comments down below. Tell us what y'all thought about this episode, what y'all think will happen in the next episode, and come back and get this fire content.